Never mind. I hate the jacket. Even in times of being dramatic, you need to look good. Where's the fucking black jackets, dude? What is going on? I do.
But if I hope that in front of you it ends with some sort of justice. This individual does not have a place in our society. There's no rehabilitation that is to be done with Abigail. Thank you, Your Honor.
That was honestly really, really good.
That was good, Minerva.
Alrighty, the people would like to call forward Assistant Chief Richard Dark.
Ready.
Check.
Hello, Your Honors. Am I speaking to you or am I speaking to the court?
You're speaking to the court pertaining to the sentencing of Miss Archer. You can speak to whoever.
I've really never done one of these before. Which is saying something really, but I'm sure the court is aware of John Doe, a fellow police officer who died a few months back. It was after that when I learned that Bobby was kidnapped, and we didn't really know what was going to happen to her. And the reason I just stepped out was to grab this suit. Because this is the suit I had to go and buy when Bobby was missing, because I thought I was going to have to bury a very good friend of mine. There is no person that deserves to still be alive who kidnaps someone and does those terrible things. So, respectfully, Your Honor, I guess what I'm requesting here is that I can at least make use of this suit by going to this person's fucking funeral. And I'm sorry for the language, Your Honor, but I think it's pretty clear and blatant that this person doesn't deserve to live any longer. Now, I'm not the kind of person who is good for the death penalty. I haven't been supportive of it for a long time until a very good friend and a very fucking good officer was kidnapped and tortured by the woman in that chair. Now, Bobby, for those who don't know, has been an absolute staple of a community member in this city for years now. She has gone from the most fabulous member of EMS to a fantastic member of PD who's done nothing but help countless, dozens, and maybe even hundreds of people in the city who deserved nothing what she got. And I think anybody who decided to target her clearly has absolutely no place in this society. So whether you decide she deserves life in prison, or in my preference, to no longer be with us, I think you will make the right choice. I think you know the right decision here, and whatever it is, you have the PD support, so thank you. But yeah, I don't really know what else to say other than I don't really know what kind of person I would have been if Bobby wasn't with us today, but I can tell you I would have been a very different person. And I would have been, the world would have been much better off without this person in it. Thank you.
The state
Thank
would
you,
like to call
Assistant Chief Darby.
forward. State would like to call forward Detective Supervisor Lucy DeBont.
Lucy got a shirt on? Oh yeah, she does.
The podium is fine, Lucy.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. All right. Odessa asked if I had anything to say, and initially I didn't, but I thought on it a little bit, and I think I have something very important to say. The woman I was in love with, Ashley Smith, was detective sergeant for the SCU. She taught me everything I know about being a detective. And sadly, she was murdered by Lily Turo, a person convicted of serial assaults and killings who was released out back into the public with the understanding that she had changed. Lily Turo did not change. She's the same person who kidnapped my sister and tortured her for over a week 2 years prior. Some people cannot be rehabilitated. When their actions cross this line into serial assaults and killings, I firmly believe there is no turning back. And it cost me the love of my life. Just put her down.
Yeah, put it down. I don't even know if the death sentence is on the table here, but I think it is because it's here to source and killing.
The state would like to call forward Senior Ranger Ziggy Bugs.
Wait, Ziggy actually came around for this?
Bob, when you're ready.
All right. Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the court, some time ago, or well, I should say that I've been privy to this case for quite a while, and prior to me falling back in with the Rangers and whatnot, I worked for our detective unit here in the city, and I worked as a behavioral analyst. I worked on several serial killer cases, and almost every one that I've been a part of, there is the victims involved with the case almost always relive their traumas involuntarily. And speaking for me personally, having dealt with a case that has been pretty close to me, it still sort of crops up into my day to day, and that person is still alive. And the worries of that still occur to me today. And knowing that this person has, been a part of these, long ongoing acts of cruelty, torture, killing, so on and so forth. At some point, you have to recognize that there is no redemption, and if the person would be left alive, then the victims would always have a worry in the back of their head of, that person still exists. At least, let's say, if a victim had their you know, whoever did whatever it was to them, if they knew at the very least that person could no longer get a hold of them because they had been killed, because the state had decided to enact justice and put them to death, that they could at least, whenever they wake up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat, worrying that it's going to happen to them again, they can reassure themselves that whoever did that to them is dead. And it doesn't give them any more reason to worry about it anymore. I think that at the very least, for the victims themselves, to give them sort of a, you know, a good night's rest, or at the very least to reassure them, the least we could do is get rid of the person who caused it.
Damn right, Ziggy.
Thank you, Ziggy. Appreciate it.
State would like to
Ms.
call.
Bexley next.
Yep, the state would like to call forward Senior Ranger Louise Campbell.
Ms. Campbell.
Here's a rare sight. There was no giggles, you know.
Your Honor, courts, people of Los Santos.
No.
I come here today as one of the unfortunate family members that have had to endure the pain of Abigail Archer. Now, all the other victims don't get to have their family members stand up here today, but Bobby Russell does. And I can't tell you just how much pain it inflicted on me being part of the investigation and responding to the potential death of my own sister, my adopted sister that I have spent the last 2 years growing up in Los Santos with. I've known her through my dispatch days. We became cops together in the same
Who's clapping?
department. She has been a big part of my life this whole way through.
Catching on, yeah, you're right.
And to be a part of that scene, having to beat the chains with my flashlight to save my sister's life, is not something that is easy to go through. I felt fear because I was sure that Bobby was gone. I had to watch videos that stated my sister was dead, and the torture that she went through with a goddamn welding torch all at the hands of Abigail Archer. It wasn't fair. It was cruel. But I'd do whatever it takes to make sure Bobby came back alive. And we was just very lucky that she was, because she was close, Your Honor. She was on the brink of death. But it didn't stop there. Every day, I was at the hospital. And every day, some days, was worse than the rest. We'd get calls, we'd get told by the doctors that she almost died that night while we wasn't there. Abigail didn't get to survive this. She shouldn't be able to. She has killed so many people. She almost killed my loved one. She doesn't deserve to survive. She really doesn't. They don't get to come here and say their piece, but I do. And it's torture, Your Honor. We may be able to say that it's torture for the others, but I'm the one person that can tell you the exact pain that it was inflicted. But it didn't stop there, because this affected my personal life too. I was one of the first officers after Odessa and
No.
Bobby to get questioned about who I
What
was.
the hell?
But I was lucky enough to
Oh
know that I
my
had to
God.
protect my identity on scene. So she never figured out who I was. I didn't get cameras placed. But it didn't stop, because I had to make sure I was safe too. I had to search my building every time I would leave or exit my house to make sure there was no cameras. I had to wear different uniforms on scene to make sure that I wasn't recognized as a ranger, because unfortunately there is only a few females and it would have been easy to find out who I was. So not only did she affect a loved one of me, she also affected me too, and I really don't think she deserves to stand up here today. She deserves the death penalty, Your Honor, and you should give her it.
Thank you, Ranger Campbell. Skull Fax to your next witness.
The state would like to call forward lead detective Bobby Russell.
Bobby Russell.
Hello, Your Honor. I'm gonna do my best to talk without breaking. I promised myself I've been preparing for this for months now. The pain. Your Honor, I did my job as a cop, as a detective, to go out to the city and help someone on a scene who was deceased. The result I got was weeks of torture. I might be away from danger right now. I might be free of all the damage, all the pain that people think and say I suffered. But that's not true. Every day, I'm reimagining everything day in and day out. When I'm going home, laying in bed, the first thing that happens is me starting to reimagine everything that happened. It's unbearable. It's I'm sorry.
Take your time.
What I'm trying to say is this is something I have to live with for the rest of my life. I might be out of danger. I might be safe. But the pain is still there. The pain will always be there. The nightmares. I have nightmare of getting hunted by the person who did this. I have nightmares that one day everything is gonna repeat itself. I just want that peace to know that it's not gonna repeat itself one day. It happened to one of my best friends, Ashley. And the only thing I really want is not to have that one thing to worry about. And hopefully, one day, hopefully, get a somewhat normal life. That's all, Your Honor.
Thank you, Bobby. Ms. Glovaxi, anybody further?
I myself will be representing the state's official opinion on this matter.
Okay.
Just give me a moment. Your Honor, people of the court, we are here today after Madame Acha was found guilty of 27 capital level crimes. Crimes that are so inhumane and cruel. This woman shows no mercy. She enjoys the game she plays. And it's important for us to mention that this woman had the opportunity for freedom through the negotiated sentencing plea agreement. But she chose to throw it all away for the sick pleasure of manipulation. She doesn't care about her freedom. She cares about causing harm and torturing her victims. This is why we need to consider the highest punishment capable for crimes such as these: the death penalty. Of course, Your Honor, to argue this, we must consider the aggravating and mitigating factors of the people versus Prism and Wilson. And now the defense will likely reference mitigating factors such as the defendant's ability to reform. To that, Your Honor, we pose this: if she was capable of reform and truly wished to do so, why would she throw away a sentencing hearing plea? A guaranteed shot at such reform? I don't know, Your Honor, but it is my job to present to you the aggravating factors in argument for this woman's death. Firstly, in regards to the Prism Code, point A, something she would plead guilty to alone, and then be found further guilty by Your Honor to 21 first-degree murders. Point C, the matter of torture. Again, something she proudly pled guilty to, depicted in the gruesome films designed not only to inflict physical pain on the quote-unquote actor, but mental pain on those who watch it. Pain that people like Detective Bobby Russell are still dealing with today. Point D, heinous, atrocious, and cruel depravity. If the excessive torture of various body parts and the mind was not sufficient for this, we only need to look at the fact that Miss Archer kept her victims alive via epinephrine so she could further torture them. Let alone we consider the fact that she used nitric acid in multiple of her kills. An acid so strong, it's near impossible to identify the remains of the poor victim subjugated to it. The acid contributing to point G as well. Administering of poison via her crude devices to the final 4 victims. And finally, we point to point H.1. Bobby Russell was targeted because she responded to the scene of Thomas Hansley, just doing her duty to protect the citizens of our city. Your Honor, no amount of mitigating factors could outnumber all of these facts. Regardless of the character of Madame Archer, though that isn't very stellar either, is it? A woman who thinks herself better than all of us because she, quote, wants to teach a lesson, unquote. Someone who made a mockery of our court systems just so she could force someone to kill 4 people. And just now, when Detective Bobby Russell was up here telling the terrifying tale of everything that happened to her, Madame Archer stood there, dead staring at Bobby Russell. Clearly an idea to taunt. Your Honor, you know that I have been a part of a lot of these types of cases. It's a well-known fact in this city. But so rarely does the actions of the suspect surprise me as much as Abigail's did. It is my duty as lead prosecutor to represent the people of the state of San Andreas with strength and courage. But as I sit here recounting the tales of the actions of the defendant, I feel a shiver down my spine. Myself and a few other investigators had to watch those videos over and over again to find any possible clue to bring those victims home to their loved ones. Miss Archer was exceptionally cruel. I've only seen a few so malicious and heinous, and the state put those people to death. Your Honor, it is a lot to ask for the state to put a woman to death. We know this is not an easy decision, but for the sake of each and every one of those victims, it must be done. Take those names to heart when you go to make your decision. Think of Bobby Russell, someone who is still dealing with the mental and physical pain each and every day. Think of the families who won't have their loved one anymore to smile when they tell a joke, someone to share the holidays with, someone to just live life with. Miss Archer robbed those people of that opportunity. No, killing Miss Archer won't bring those people back, nor will it stop the pain Detective Russell will feel for the rest of her life. But it will start to bring closure. Your Honor, Archer was alone in all of this, and she will be forever alone. And when she dies, the video will stop, the torture will end, and no one will fall harm to the woman known as Red ever again. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Odessa. Does that conclude the prosecution's?
It does, Your Honor.
We'll turn to the defense. Miss Sanders. Do you have anybody here that will be speaking on Abigail Archer's behalf?
Just me, Your Honor.
Just yourself, okay. You may approach.
In 1972, the United States Supreme Court viewed Furman v. Georgia 408 U.S. 238 and declared that under then existing laws, the imposition and carrying out the death penalty constitutes cruel and unusual punishment violating the United States 8th and 14th Amendments. The court, concentrating its objections on the matter of which the death penalty laws have applied, found the results so harsh and freakish and arbitrary as to be constitutionally unacceptable. Making the nationwide impact of its decisions unmistakable, the court summarily reversed death sentences in many cases. But despite this, for whatever reason, 4 years later, the Furman decision and after the Furman decision, several hundred persons have been sentenced to death under new state capital punishment statutes, written to provide guidance to juries in sentencing. These statutes required two-stage trial procedure, which the jury first determined guilt and then imposition or death in light of aggravating mitigating circumstances, such as the ones we see today with Miss Archer, and all those guilty of serial assaults and killings before her. In 1976, the Supreme Court moved away from abolition, holding that the punishment of death does not invariably violate any constitution, whether it be an outlying state or a state in its whole. The court ruled that new death penalty statutes that seem to be growing contained, and I quote, objective standards to guide and regularize and make rationally reviewable the process of imposing the sentence in death. That was Greg v. Georgia, 428 U.S. 153. Subsequently, 39 state legislatures, including San Andreas, following that, and the federal government enacted death penalty statutes patterned after what the court upheld in Gregg. Your Honors, genuinely capital punishment such as the death penalty is cruel and unusual. We know this. It is cruel because it is based on the relic of the earliest days of penology where branding and other corporal punishments were commonplace, like those barbaric practices, executions should have no place in our civilized society. It is unusual because San Andreas and a few other states within the Union of all Western industrialized nations are the only ones that engage in this punishment. It is unusual because only a random sampling of convicted murderers and terrorists in San Andreas received the sentence of death, and that's easily discoverable simply by looking through the docket. Capital punishment denies the due process of law. We sit in a court of justice. The imposition of the capital punishment is often arbitrary and always irrevocable, forever depriving an individual of the opportunity to benefit from any new evidence that may come up or new laws that might come up to alleviate them, or setting aside this death sentence. The death penalty violates a guarantee of equal protection amongst citizens. It is applied randomly. It is imposed disproportionately, seemingly on the whims of a judiciary who believes themselves to be a hand of justice, whereas the hammer wantonly decides that someone's last breath should be taken by a firing squad or a cold, dank room for lethal injection. We all know that the death penalty is not a viable form of crime control. I beg anyone, please tell me when and where a death penalty case has ever stopped someone from kidnapping a fellow human, taking them into the back corners of the state, watching their lives suffer. It's no one. The guilty dying on behalf of the innocent does not dissuade the dark and destructive nature that humanity sees within our great state. If Miss Archer will be put to death, this won't stop. This will not stop because the decision to take Miss Archer's life is purportedly just to avenge, which we know vengeance isn't justice. Your Honor is not prescribing the death penalty. It does not indicate a lack of sympathy for the murder victims. I need to be clear. On the contrary, murder demonstrates a lack of and for human life, respect for human life. Because this life is precious, death is irrevocable, murder is abhorrent, and the policy of state-authorized killings is immoral. It epitomizes the tragic inefficiency and brutality of violence rather than a reason as a solution to the difficult social problems that we're facing, such as this. Sadly, these victims have often been marginalized by politicians and prosecutors who rather publicize the opinions of pro-death penalty family members rather the prosecutors here would rather voice the false majority opinion from officers who see violence day to day, who become desensitized, and people indirectly associated with the case who voice their generalized opinion without actually knowing anything about Ms. Archer outside of what was directly presented here. I'm not arguing for the lack of punishment for Miss Archer, nor for the justice of the victims, Your Honor, but for most everyone here is so willing to stand on their pedestals and tout their bloodied ideologies. The impacts of the families are real, but the facts of the case still exist. They shouldn't be washed away by the sob stories and fluttered eyelashes begging for the death of someone else. How are they any better in this callous demand? The reality is that capital punishment in San Andreas is a lottery. It is a punishment that is shaped by the constraints of poverty, geography, local politics, and random poor luck. There's a certain right to which there's a certain right by which may deprive a person of life, but none that which may deprive them of death. The idea that the death penalty is even on the line is cruel in and of itself. A society that respects life should not deliberately kill other human beings. An execution can be a violent spectacle, as we will most likely see if she's put to death, of official legal homicide, and one that endorses killing to solve problems, which is by itself the worst example to set for any citizen, especially here. Our government here attempts to justify its lethal fury by extolling the purported benefits that such killing would bring the rest of society beholden to justice. The benefits of capital punishment are illusory, but the bloodshed and the resulting destruction of community decency are real. It is a deep shame that Sergeant Smith perished by the hands of someone else, but it is neither fair or just to singularly focus on Miss Archer in an act of wanton vengeance. Allowing the state to kill its citizens for any reasons diminishes our humanity and continues a sadistic and dangerous precedent that is unworthy of our civilized society. I ask of you, Your Honors, do you wish to be viewed as a hammer of justice in civilized society, or do you wish to be befallen to the barbaric lack of nuances that some select individuals of our society believe themselves to be above? Thank you.
So what is our suggestion?
Will Miss Archer be
for
making a
them?
statement on her own behalf?
So what is her suggestion for sentencing? Because she made none.
Guess I was batting my eyelashes, huh, Miss Sanders?
We're discussing, Your Honor.
Killing someone is unconstitutional, but
Yeah,
living
it is.
for life is better. Okay.
She will not be speaking on her behalf at this time, Your Honor.
Okay.
With that, is there anybody
Yeah, I
that
would.
is assembled in the gallery that would like to come and make a statement either way?
Yeah, sure. Hi.
Why are they speaking?
Fauna, is that you back there?
Yeah, it's me. Hi.
Come on up.
Like I said, fucks.
Can you
like
speak
that
nice and
love
loud into the
coming to these
microphone for
simple
everyone here,
things.
okay?
Hi. Yep. I have been made aware recently that every time I come up here to speak about not putting people to death, I'm trying to defend not being dead, which I think is partially true. But here I am again.
Who is this?
Arguing not to execute someone who is a heinous bitch, honestly. That shit's really fucked up. Like, I've seen some fucked up shit in my time, and oh my god. But I just... It's hard to hear people begging for someone else to do a murder for them because they think it'll make the nightmares go away. And I'm here to tell you that it will, unfortunately, it will not make them go away. The fact that you're taking someone else's life will not make it stop. You're still going to have the nightmares of him coming up behind you in your cell and pressing you against the wall and taking bites out of your living flesh so that he can have something to eat, because it won't go away. It won't go away. It won't do anything. Taking someone else's life for this will not do anything. You're still going to be in pain and have PTSD for the rest of your life. I mean, you should probably be going to therapy, although there's only one therapist, and it's not. I would like a therapist that wasn't also seeing people that didn't like me, but that's okay. And
I'm about to get contempt. I'm about to get contempt court.
I'm really sorry that you won't get closure from it because you really hope you will. But even if you did it yourself with your own hands, it still wouldn't give you any closure. Actually, it would make it worse.
Your Honor, who exactly is this waste of time? Is this necessary?
Your Honor,
This is-
they should be allowed to speak.
They are allowed to speak. I afforded the opportunity to the gallery, Assistant Chief.
I'm sorry that you're upset,
Don't talk to me.
but it's the truth.
Jessica, brave.
I regret to inform you that I'm speaking from experience, and that bitch knows it, and so do most of those bitches. So, yeah. And secondly, as someone who's spent a lot of time with a gang recently, it's really hard to hear a bunch of people
Just going to judge
say
a
that they
bitch.
wish they could do it themselves or whatever, and then
The
don't.
fuck?
But
Nobody said that
that's
today.
more of they want hearing people say that they want someone else to do it so that they can be absolved of like the moral compunctions or whatever they have against murdering people because it's okay if the state does it so that they can sleep well at night. That's great too. But like,
What is happening?
it's not going to help anything. Really, it isn't. I mean, you can like, I don't know, put her in MaxSec forever. You can have like a Sarlacc in the Sarlacc pit or whatever. Oh no, if you go to MaxSec, Abigail's
We
gonna
don't
let you. Or...
we don't have Sarlaccs. This isn't. This we don't have Sarlaccs here.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I just wanted
this is
wanted
this
to
filibustering?
say that it
Is this
if
supposed to
you're hoping
waste time?
that she'll get the death penalty because you'll sleep better at night, it will not help and it will make it worse. So don't execute her.
I put a go in 10
Just,
minutes,
like, put her
dude.
somewhere where she can't hurt her, or turn her into a nugget like Tandy.
Who
That
has
would
arms
also
and
work.
legs now?
Oh, okay. Well, like old Tandy when he was a nugget. Okay. Because then
Thank you,
she's
Fauna.
alive and she can't hurt people because she doesn't have arms and legs. She's a little nugget. Anyway, yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Executing
dogs.
people isn't the
Getting there.
magical panacea that y'all think it is. So, like, don't.
Oh my god.
Okay, thanks. Okay,
Yep.
bye.
Thanks, Fauna. Appreciate you as always.
Yeah, great.
Public reminder for the courts that Kenneth Jesperson is up for parole again soon. Hearing TBD. Anybody else that would like to make a statement
God.
on sentencing here?
Please God, no. Please God, no.
All right, we're gonna place this into a brief recess while Judge Hart and I go and deliberate on a sentence here. We'll be out shortly.
I have Pride Burgies if anyone wants them.
I want a pride burger. You probably poison them.
Oh, for my client, Your Honor, or
Okay,
Fauna.
are you okay?
Nope.
Are you okay? She said.
It
Oh,
also
I'm so
wasn't
sorry. I
twice.
don't know how.
Oh, it must be a hard life defending a multi-murderer, a fucking serial killer, huh? Wait.
Thinking about I get shot before I got here in the car actually. Oh, perfect.
I saw no level.
I'll let you know. It would be better than he was
Sitting behind
No,
it.
that's for sure.
Just set up at the front first.
Anyone else want gay snackies?
Hmm.
No? Okay.
Is it? It's that you.
Yeah, it is. Good
Hey.
morning.
Morning, how are you?
I've been better.
What's up?
Also, because I feel like I have to clarify this every time I'm here because for Samantha's moral support, not for that heinous bitch over there.
The fuck you call me?
You heard me on the stand. Now you're
Shirley
now.
Lemons, my friend, ended up
Yeah?
in the ICU yesterday with a brain bleed.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
I
didn't
actually
say
talked
that
to
you
Matt
shouldn't
about
die.
it.
Just said that the state shouldn't do it.
Apparently, some guy is
I hope you turn into a
taking
chicken nugget.
advantage of her vulnerable state since the
Who?
divorce.
That's fair.
His name is Merrick McFly. And he's been getting her high and drunk and putting her in dangerous situations. And it's led to her being ICU twice already. So, are you hungry?
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Is she stable? Is she...
For now, yeah. I forget all what happened, the brain bleed. When I heard that, I pretty much tuned out of everything else, but that was yesterday morning. I haven't checked in with Kiki yet to see if she's heard anything. But funny enough, Matt was looking for Merrick last night and stumbled upon Echo Gray, who had a warrant for witness tampering.
Does Matt know about Shirley?
Yeah, I told him everything. I was actually talking to him when Kiki had messaged me that Echo was yelling at her at the hospital. And I had mentioned it offhand, and Bison was like, "Oh, she has a warrant." And I was like, "Well, now you know where she is."
Yeah, Matt's, he's
Go
not in
ahead.
a good time of it at the minute. I didn't even know
Why?
about Shirley, and Fred quit yesterday.
That I knew.
Nova quit this morning.
What?
Yeah. So, he's been going through the motions, so probably gonna
You
pop home
okay?
in a minute and see if he's alright. He's I think it's all getting him down a bit, you know.
Well, unfortunately, there's a double edge to the blade of him arresting Echo. Because if word gets out that I was the one that tipped them off, I'm quite literally dead.
Does anybody know that it was you?
I mean,
Hang on, anybody?
Bison and Matt are the only two that were there, but I mean, there were other cops that saw me there talking to them before they went and arrested her. So,
Yeah. Well,
and,
it shouldn't get out.
Yeah, I mean, not intentionally, but. And the thing is that Kiki saw Echo at the hospital. So they might assume that Kiki told them. And I can't let anything happen to Kiki.
Yeah, just don't go do anything stupid, please. Like, tell them it was you to save Kiki. No. If that happens, then we'll make sure Kiki's alright.
I would much rather it be me than her, though, because she's been through enough. She doesn't deserve that.
Yeah, well, Shirley doesn't deserve whatever the fuck's happening to her.
No, she doesn't.
That guy's a piece of shit.
He is. Like, he threatens to leave her if she doesn't do the drugs with him
Jesus fuck.
Yeah.
That's textbook
it's-
abuse.
Yes, very much so. And he alluded that now people, quote unquote, know their secret. So this is goodbye. But don't tell them about the other things. So now I want to know what the other things are. What else does he have her doing? You know, I mean, because you know Shirley. She is probably one of the most sweetest and pure things I've ever met.
Yeah.
Wouldn't hurt a fly, but I mean, ecstasy on top of absinthe.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Here, no, I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go head home and check on Matt.
Okay.
But I'm gonna just quickly say goodbye to everybody. So, but I'll probably see ya. Maybe not tomorrow. I'll see you Monday. Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Give him a hug for me, please.
I will.
Tell him I love him.
No. Okay. You take care of yourself. Okay.
And I love you too.
Yeah. All right. I'll see you later. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Little suited man.
How are you holding up? Oh, you have to step outside for a little bit.
Hey. I'm gonna go home and see Matt. I don't think I can stick around, but well done today. And that was probably a lot, but I'm proud of you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming.
Take care.
Yeah. Let's just say he's around like 9 hours from now. That's way too late for me.
Got it. Okay. Alrighty. Well, if you're not planning on attending, just let the docket know and all that.
Yeah.
Because you are called.
Hey, good work. I gotta go. But
Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate
fantastic
it.
job.
Thank you, sir. Alrighty.
Hey, good work, guys. I gotta head home, but let me know
Yeah,
the
thank you for
verdicts. All
Will
right.
do.
Good night, Doc.
Good night. Hey, devils. Good timing. I'm leaving. Hey, Brian. Now,
Hey, how you doing?
Nova quit this morning.
Yeah. She told me.
Yeah. Don't get. Listen. Don't you dare drag her into your bullshit. Okay.
Bragging to what bullshit? What bullshit? Dark, what do you mean? What bullshit?
Listen, you say you're gonna be some kind of mercenary or some crap? Listen, I know you're gonna get into some shit. Now that no one's gonna stop you, okay? But if Nova gets into it, she's not like you, Brad. Okay?
What is like me supposed to mean?
She ain't got the. Listen, she's got morals, okay? She actually has some ethics to her. You, once you're off the rails, you don't care about nothing, and she'll get hurt if you drag her along.
That's not true.
You don't know that.
I know that.
God damn it. Don't do anything stupid, please.
I'm not doing anything stupid. What'd you hear?
No, I didn't hear nothing.
All right. I got a good job.
Okay. Good for you, Brad.
I make good money now.
I gotta go home because Matt's really not happy about all this. You're gone, Nova's gone.
Did I give him a call?
I don't know when this is around. But maybe it'd be a good idea to check in maybe tomorrow. You'll like that.
All right, I'll check in with him.
Okay. Thank you, Kyle.
Hey, no problem. And don't worry, I'm not up to anything.
Yeah.
But you know, I could use a little help.
Oh, piss off.
Oh, come on. What do you mean? We can do this together.
No, we're not doing shit. Anything unsanctioned,
come
I'm
on.
not helping you with.
Come on, Dark. We could do this together. I mean, look, you were always my guy. I always took care of you, didn't I? Come
What
on.
are you trying? No, you can't ask for help from PD after you quit PD. That's not how it works.
That's exactly how it works.
What do you want?
Come on, man.
You've got 2 minutes of my time. I'm literally heading home.
I just need someone that can, pass me information.
Ah, for fuck's sake. Who do you think I am?
Or somebody else, Dark. It might as well be you.
Listen, yeah, how about
You can
that's
listen.
a good
I'll
idea.
be Batman and you be my Commissioner Gordon. Yeah, you kind of look like him. You kind of look like Gary Oldman.
I'll take that. You know, if it's good faith stuff, then I'll consider it. Okay.
It's just information. That's all it is.
Hey, I mean, like, it happens with informants, so I guess maybe we could figure something out.
All right, cool. Maybe we can figure
Maybe
something
we can.
out. Where do you lie on the moral compass, though?
Oh, you know exactly where I'm going home, Brent. I literally have to go.
All right. I'll catch you later.
And I'll catch you later,
nice
mate.
talking to you.
Yeah, you too. Luca, thank you for the raid, buddy. It was fun running into you earlier. I'm just gonna go around this corner. Alright, my steak from HelloFresh is ready. I smell it. It smells so good. So I'm gonna go eat that. So I'll be back in just a minute. Well, I mean, back in just a minute. I'll be back on Monday. What am I on about? Yeah, I'll be back on Monday, chat. Thank you guys for hanging out. I'll see you guys later. Sorry, Raiders, for only sticking around for 2 minutes. But yeah, I will be back on Monday. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.